So the reason, in terms of why somebody is abusive, there's lots of myths and misconceptions that are out there around, kind of having been abused as a child, or alcohol, or stress, or unemployment, or being on the autistic spectrum, or, like drug or alcohol, or there's all sorts of things that emerge as the reasons that are given for why somebody is abusing their partner. And we need to strip that back and acknowledge those things for what they are. They're factors, but they're not the cause. The reason why someone abuses their partner is fundamentally about the beliefs they hold. And this is a theological argument too, because Jesus says the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. So we understand as Christians that what we do comes out of what we believe. And somebody who is abusive believes fundamentally that they own their partner and that they're entitled to do what they want to their partner. And out of that ownership and entitlement, they act in ways to control and to limit their partner to maintain those beliefs of ownership and entitlement. So when we start from that place, what we need to understand is the reason there are more abusive men than there are abusive women is not because women are any better than men, but because we live in a patriarchal society which enculturates men and boys into systems of ownership and entitlement. So women just are not exposed to the same degree of those messages. And that's not to say women can't be abusive, but that's why the majority of abusers are men. And so when we understand that that is the root of abuse, then we can start to have conversations about how our theology around men and women and leadership has an impact. Because essentially, if you hold to complementarian theology, you believe that God is saying that men should have authority and power over women and are entitled over women. And yes, we probably wouldn't go as far as owning women, but actually there's lots of stuff in the Bible which would suggest that men do own women. And so although absolutely complementarian churches and people with complementarian theology can be pastorally sensitive on an individual basis to people who are being abused, and they can support women and they can challenge the abusers, they cannot fundamentally address the wider issues around what is causing an abuser to abuse, which is the beliefs of ownership and entitlement. Because theology which advocates male headship, theology which advocates men have entitlements over women, and those are God-given entitlements, are colluding with the same systems which cause men to think it's acceptable to be abusive and lead to men developing beliefs of ownership and entitlement. So that is why the theology around male leadership, male headship is so crucial in understanding. And the problem is that a lot of the time we don't actually interrogate and understand why somebody is abusive. So it's very easy to assume that the theology around headship is not relevant. And so that's why.